I think we start with this guy here actually, because now this is two things. Obviously, it's a great annual event that you have your half-price fish and chips, and it's called the ITICA National Fish and Chips Day. What's the ITICA?
Irish Traditional
Ah, there you go.
Association.
But probably just
what we're doing is representing what our parents did, what
Right.
our families did before us.
Yeah, yeah. But what's also kind of fantastic is that it's 20 years that Pineto's has been here in Greystones. So it's a kind of, this is a big anniversary. That's in any business, 20 years is a nice number to be reaching.
20 years of good work, of good relationship with people.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and people love us.
Well, the great thing is you've got those tasers as well, and you need tasers in Greystones because you never know what sort of people are going to walk through. You just have to look around. You like look out there. I mean, and then also across the road. You need your knife, at least a knife or something. Because I'm also.
Full of coffee from
Now we should just jump way back. I know that your parents came over just after the Second World War. They met here. They came over from Italy, obviously, and met here, fell in love, got married. You were born in Dublin. You were raised, moved a little bit around, but you did move back. I think, wasn't it? You didn't.
Yeah, there was a time. I mean, my father came here when he was 19. My mother was 12.
Right.
All right, and came here. My mother was in Arklow, my father was in Dublin. They eventually met, got married. Okay. There's a big history to that. We're not going to talk.
Italians always find each other. The Italians, they just know.
He had €1 to spend in the plane to buy food, but he didn't want to spend it because he thought like he would have needed it. But it worked out that the food was free in the plane. Anyway. Yeah, they got married. They opened a chain of chippers all over Dublin. They were all over the place.
Yeah.
Even myself, as a kid, moving around schools all the time.
It's not unknown for some random customer to walk in and go, did that man live in such and such?
Isn't that great? Isn't that great?
My father was in Cambrassa Street in Renland, Raheny.
Right.
He was in Burkey. We opened the Wimpy bar in Burkey. He was running that in the 70s when the Wimpies came out, when the burgers came out.
It sounds like he was on a witness protection program. Was he a fugitive or something? He was moving a lot.
He couldn't stay in one place. And as for me, I was changing schools all the time. So it was very difficult to, make friends and then move again and make friends.
Right.
But yeah, Raheny, Clondalkin, and then we kind of settled then. We got a place up in Drumcondra. Then we went to Wicklow. We're here now.
Yeah.
I started my own place in Dean Street.
Right, because there was a period of thing. I did read that. Now you went back to Italy. You met your beautiful wife there.
Yeah.
You got married. You sort of settled there for a while, but then realized
I ran a supermarket there for 2 years.
Yeah. Okay.
Selling bananas, oranges, and all the rest that goes in.
Wow.
There. Yeah.
And then you had, of course, the always a desire to set up your own chipper and all that. You came back.
Well,
I don't know if whether that was maybe you had other plans. I don't know if that was.
No, what you see when you run around into something that's been in your blood all your life,
right?
You fall back to it easily.
Sure.
Very easy.
Right.
You do it. It's second nature, right? So you don't get involved. It's always easy to do this for me. I don't have to think how to do it. I just do it. And the kids are the same.
Right.
Born into it. When I was 12, 13, I was already cooking chips. I don't need a probe, I don't need a thermometer, I don't need to look at temperatures. If you blindfold me, I'll know when they're ready just by hearing them, by feeling them with the.
And was it ever like, there's always that sort of story of, if you grow up on a farm, there's always a kid who wants to do ballet rather than look after cows. Was there ever that sort of, I'd like to go and do something else, actually?
There is that too.
Two in our family.
Well, you've got a beautiful son now who decided to become a pilot, which is a fantastic job to have.
That's because Daddy worked him hard enough to realise if you're going to do this the rest of your life, you do it my way or the Skyway. Whatever you want.
I took the Skyway, all right.
But
did you ever doubt it? Do you ever think, maybe I'll do this instead, or was it always
me? I love what I do. I love this. It's more, I'm doing other things at the moment just to try out, but I'm thinking I didn't make my money this way. I made it this way,
right?
And I feel really comfortable just coming back in here, looking at the place work.
Right.
So, I'm getting off my feet because I've had injuries to my feet, and I'm trying to do a bit of bus driving, coach driving part-time.
Right.
In the future, I'm thinking of taking it easy, right?
Right.
But I go out there driving a bus and I go, I didn't make my money with this. I didn't make my life with this.
And that was the 60s or 70s, or what was that era, do you think? Or was that for the bus driving and all that? Was there a difference?
No, I've only put that up lately because I'm not standing in the shop as much. And I don't like being at home doing nothing.
Right. Because I was thinking back, because my mind is going back to those early days. You started out in Christchurch, that got burnt down, unfortunately, so that would have knocked you back a bit and thought about whether you want to do it or not. But then you started in Wicklow Town was the big kind of beginning. That was 1984. You really established yourself there very strongly.
Yes.
But knowing that Greystones is a much better town than Wicklow Town, I think you recognise that.
At that time, Greystones was only a little village, but I had the vision.
You had the vision that it would become this beautiful metropolis we see out there today.
I remember I called my father down, God bless him, and it was like saying, "Daddy, is there water here?"
Yes.
And my daddy put the cane out, and he was kind of going, I don't know. He didn't know the area well at that time.
Right.
Because then I went to my mother. I said, "Mom, what do you think?" She said, "Son, you're 36 years of age. Make a decision yourself."
Good woman. That's the right way to do it. Because then you'll have to stick with whatever you decide.
Then I got so much confidence in my life after that. I'm not afraid to try anything.
So for you, Bruna, was that a similar kind of trajectory where you sort of always felt this is definitely what I want to do, or do you ever kind of think twice?
I worked in AIB, I worked in Dell.
Wow.
I worked for a production company in Dublin as well.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
wow.
so I've been out there and I've done the 9 to 5 and I've had the lovely weekends off and I was a socialite and it's fantastic. But then, like Dad says, like it's in your blood, it's ingrained in you, you know.
Right.
It's just lovely. And it's lovely being around people.
Sure.
You know, it really is, and I think I got that off my dad. We love talking to people. And,
right.
You know,
we're people first.
It's great therapy, isn't it?
We get our times in here when we get stressed out. We're trying to keep up with business, with bills and people pounding at you, and you get upset sometimes. But behind it all, when people come in, it's therapy. We talk about things with people over the counter.
Right.
They make us happy, we make them happy. Somebody picks up you're upset during the day, you start talking to them and you feel better. You know,
and the great thing you got to realise at the end of your therapy, you get chips. How many therapists give you chips?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's a very nice payoff.
Yeah.
So no matter how the session goes, you know you're going to have a nice food at the end of it. So in 84 you started in Wicklow Town. I know by 90...
86,
or 86 in Wicklow Town?
We went to Wicklow in 84, 85.
Okay.
But sorry, then...
It was 96, it was, you recognised Greystones as being the greatest town in the world.
Town.
You're only a baby. You're only a baby when we went to Wicklow.
And then there was the sort of few years where you were running both, where you decided ultimately.
Well, that happened then when I was running Wicklow. That meant I was down here, and Bruna and the kids and Mommy was in the other place, and the two of us were killing each other trying to manage both. We were tired, and I was tired, so was I. So we made a decision. Let's move to Greystones. It's a lovely town, and the kids will grow up.
Full of very handsome people.
Yeah,
and smart, intelligent, sophisticated people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the dark, everything, the school was very handy for the kids. They loved it,
And I think
even though Bruna and Peter took their time getting adjusted to Greystones.
But that's just school kids moving from school to school.
Sure. So that teenage thing you're going to reject.
No, but it was just a little bit difficult for them because I remember the way I was moving schools when I was a kid, and I was saying, "Oh God, moving the kids now to Greystones, am I doing any damage here?" And like that. And then Bruna, then just a few months, and she was well into it, and
we turned out okay.
Yes.
Yay! And you hit the ground running because I think you've always had a good reputation. I don't know if it took you long to feel like you're firmly established because, you know, there's always that thing, a new business in a new town, whether people kind of get in the habit of this is where I go for my chips.
Well, what happened was we were already 17 years in Wicklow or something before we came here. So the name Pineto was very familiar down this area. Right. A lot of people were happy to see us here.
Yes.
And it made it so much easier as an entry to come into Greystones as not being nobody. Yeah. So you're already, you know.
You've proven yourself as being capable, and you know what you're doing.
Come on and see me because you're going to be okay, and that's the way I felt.
And we should make a point actually that you're very, very particular about, you know, how you make your food, because you get your potatoes from Woodruff and Sons and in Wicklow Town for all these years since the 80s. You also get from Harry up in Donegal. You get your fish, so you've really got your. You know, it's a proper fish and chip.
We try to use local people as much as we can even to help each other out. I mean, we were getting stuff off the harbour in Wicklow as well. Alan the Fishman.
Right, yes.
David Woodruff. We're getting vegetables off Mickey there at one stage. We were getting them here before Happy Pear came in as well. You know, so we're keeping everything local. The fish.
Was that Charlie's then, or
Charlie's?
Yeah, that's my brother. Yeah.
Was that your brother?
Yeah, that's my brother. Yeah. Charlie, He's not as handsome as me, but you can see his similarities. But he's not as
not as
handsome. Yeah.
So that's basically yeah.
And it would have been as I said, like that sort of wonderful thing where it felt like you were just part of the town almost immediately to me.
I didn't feel a stranger in the town.
Yeah, it just felt like you were just part of the town.
At all. I was like welcome from the first day, and the kids are amazingly adapted to it. So.
And your love is, now for this world that you've grown up in has been transferred to Bruna, and as I said, you have sons and you've other family, but the one son now you went to the very nice gesture of buying a new place in Rathnew for a son to sort of let him continue, but he decided, you know what, I'm going to become the pilot actually.
Yeah.
So now,
he just got around with the wrong people.
Yeah, he fell in with the wrong crowd. We know that for
that's
sure.
That's why Mum isn't here as much actually. We
So,
don't want to stress that. Mum's still around, but she's just.
But we're very tired now. Mum is very tired. I'm tired because we're trying to run boat shops, and we've created a kind of a nightmare at the moment. So
okay.
Under pressure with both of them, we may have to make adjustments to make our lives a bit easier.
And Dad, they've always been hands-on. I mean, any given day, there's always one.
Well, if you've got quality control, if you care about what's actually going to happen.
I've had 4 surgery in the feet 4 times.
Right.
Problem standing up.
Right.
And that's coming up with sore shoulders.
Well, that's years of being a dancer.
That's
that's
been a dancer.
He's always on point.
So she finishes one shift and she's down here to 2, 3 in the morning and the weekends as well. So
right.
I think it's time to, take a step back from that.
Right.
We should not be running 2 shops at this stage.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Well, obviously, well, that's part of your, I think, always been your kind of work ethic, that you care deeply about how the customer is going to get served and what sort of business you're running.
And if I'm not well, the customer won't get served at all. So
right.
we need to make sure that we're all working, function well, and happy at work as well. Because otherwise,
so do you see yourself, I mean, this is, fairly established in Greystones, do you see that you'll stay, or do you kind of think now there's a period of transition where you don't know?
There's a question, Fiore, there's a question. Do I feel that it's time for me to take it easy on Anna.
Right.
And we need to step back, and really the question I don't know about, we thought about letting one of the shops go.
Right.
And that was a decision, and it's not because we sort of decided maybe this one because it's well established and it's got good foundation and it's attractive to the market.
Right.
As for right now, it's only open freshly new.
Gotcha.
It's costing. It hasn't reached its peak and there's nothing to sell yet.
Okay.
So that's the only reason you can't unload it that fast onto the plate.
Right.
So that was the decision to let this go, and we can now focus on one of the places. And but even that is it's a hard decision to make.
Of course, that would be huge. Yeah, it would be huge to the town too.
I had the for sale sign outside the door, and it used to break my heart every time I drive by to see a for sale sign on my. This was my dream when I came in here. There was a big empty unit, and I chalked it out, and I'd sit in the stool there and watch the whole place and imagine it work and everything else. And the day
the
I
builders
opened,
would leave, right? I remember the builders would leave. Dad would come in and he'd get the chalk and he'd start correcting the builders. So, can I have another socket here, please? The next day he'd come in and there'd be a lovely message to Dad.
I'll tell you one thing. When I stood outside that door in 1980, I was down in Greystones 1994 actually checking this place out.
All right. Originally, kind of just see what it looked like, and
when this was a shopping basket.
Yes, I remember that. Yes.
But I couldn't buy it at that time. I hadn't got enough change in my pocket. But 2 years after, I did.
Right.
And I stood outside that door, and I would check my second-hand watch on the watch, and it would take 20 seconds for a car to go by.
Wow.
Yeah, now look at that. There's a car going by there every 3 seconds.
Yes.
That's how amazing Greystones has gone.
Well, it's certainly grown and grown, that's for sure.
And now we have the harbour here, and last Sunday it was just so amazing to see all the people wandering around the place from the harbour as well. It's beginning to feel beautiful down there, and it's. They don't all go down the harbour. They will go down the harbour and then explore the small town. I think the harbour is going to be a very.
So should I dare ask then if you've made any decision yet, or whether you're still kind of in that process of figuring it out what you might do?
Well, I'm only going to get older in life, so I have to make a decision.
But you're Italian, you don't look older. That's the thing. Italians don't look older. They might get older secretly, but there's an Italian tradition where you always look smart and you.
Is there a time where you want to sit down and enjoy a few pennies that you worked for? Or do you want to really bring it to a hospital at the end of the 70 years of age?
Well, my plan was 35, but it hasn't happened yet. That was my plan to retire.
Just to sit back a bit and take a bit of time for yourself.
Before
you get too old and you can't do nothing with a few pennies,
Sure.
Then you'll have to leave it all to Bruna. So it's what everybody thinks of retirement and doing something a bit, slowing down a bit. Yeah.
Of course. Okay. Well,
I know for a fact that in 10 years' time I won't be able to do all them hours. I'll be tired at 8 o'clock. I want to go to bed. I don't want to be here at 3 o'clock.
Well, I think
you would agree with that.
Oh yeah. Well, in 5 years' time, I'm not going to walk out of my house. I'll just, I'll phone people. I'll do everything from a phone. I'm not going to be. Everything will be on Skype.
When I was a kid, I'd open the shop in the morning, 10 o'clock, and I'd be here till 5, 6 in the morning. When I came to Greystones, I used to wait for the nightclub here. Latouche.
Of course, yeah, you get all the yeah.
They'd be out of there 2 o'clock. The doors would be
And they'd be hungry.
The doors would be closed. They'd be in here for 3. I'd have them out of here at 4. I'd be in bed sometime around 5 o'clock, and that would be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Of course, yes.
Monday you'd be shattered. That's and then plus Mommy was doing the kid runs in the mornings.
Right.
You know, we did put our time into it.
Well, we should just wrap up by saying we'll watch this space, because obviously you've got decisions to make, and people do love this place, so there'll be a kind of a hard thought that you wouldn't be here, but still you've made a beautiful job of this, and it is a much loved part of Greystones. So
it's something that can take a year, 2 or 5 years, but it has to be put to bed nicely and put in the right hands, because it's my work.
Sure.
And I wouldn't go wrong. But between now and 5 years, I become 60. Jesus, I need 10 good years for myself.
You only look 25, man. You only look 25. There you go.